So students, today we are going to start our new chapter, combustion and flame. Okay, as you know that we use different kinds of fuels for various purposes at home. Okay, in industry and for running automobiles. So you have to give some names, a few fuel used in our homes. Okay, so can you name a few fuels used in your home?
Sir, CNG?
Yes, you use CNG.
Sir, no, sir,
Yeah.
LPG.
Yes, LPG. Actually, you have to say about the things which is related to your home. Okay, that's why other things will become after that. So, question is about just for your homes. Okay, one you say LPG, and second thing, in villages mainly use wood. Okay, coal is also used. Okay, and now it is banned, but somewhere other kerosene also used, so these fuels are used. Okay, then CNG and sector things will become. So what are used for running automobiles? For automobiles, what do you use? Aut-
CNG.
Automobiles, you use CNG. Again you are saying CNG. Your car or bike is preferred with CNG.
Sir, petrol.
Yes, you have to say petrol or diesel. Okay, mainly here in our side is petrol and diesel is used. Okay, CNG is very rarely used nowadays still. Okay, your list will contain, as your name suggests, fuel like cow dung, wood, coal, charcoal, petrol, diesel, compressed natural gas, etc. Okay, so you are familiar with the burning of a candle. Okay, what is the difference between the burning of a candle and the burning of a fuel like coal? Can anyone tell? Difference between burning of a candle and burning of a coal. So answer also given here that the candle burns with a flame, whereas coal does not. Okay. Similarly, you will find many other materials burning without a flame. Let us study the chemical process of burning and the types of flame produced during this process. So there are many materials, okay, which are burning without a flame. So we have to study about their chemical process of burning and the types of flames produced by them. Okay, so first uh, we have to know that what is combustion. Okay, a new term is for you that in this chapter, combustion. So you have to recall the activity of burning of magnesium ribbon performed in class 7th. We learned that magnesium burns to form magnesium oxide and produces heat and light. Okay, as you show in figure 6.1 also. Okay, I hope you remember this test also, experiment also. Okay, burning of magnesium, it produces this type of red light. Okay, and heat is also produced here. We can perform a similar activity with a piece of charcoal. Hold the piece with a pair of tongue and bring it near the flame of a candle or a Bunsen burner. Okay, what do you observe? Okay, so this activity you have to do with a piece of charcoal, same activity which you do earlier with magnesium. Okay, so you have to just understand it. If you not do this activity, no problem, but you have to just compare it with the magnesium which you already learned. So hold the piece with a pair of tongs and bring it near the flame of a candle or a Bunsen burner. Okay, a burner you I hope you see already. Okay, what do you observe? So you find that charcoal burns in air. We know that coal too burns in air. Okay, producing carbon dioxide, heat and light. So what we conclude by this experiment, that coal also burns in air and it produces carbon dioxide, heat and light. Okay, understood? All students understood?
Yeah.
So, a chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to give off heat is called combustion. Okay, whenever a substance react with oxygen, okay, to give off heat, okay, heat should be produced in that process, so it is called combustion. Okay, the substance that undergoes combustion is said to be combustible. Okay, two terms is here, one is combustion and combustible. So combustible substance are those substances which undergoes combustion. Okay, it is also called a fuel. Okay, we also call it as a fuel. So the fuel may be solid, liquid or gas in any form. Sometimes light is also given off during combustion, either as a flame or as a glow. Okay, you see in many things, okay, when we burns coal and kerosene, and many times is happen that light also glow. Okay, in the reactions mentioned above, magnesium and charcoal are combustible substances. Okay, so what two methods we just now you can say they mentioned. One is magnesium, charcoal, and charcoal. Okay, magnesium example you already learned in 7th class. This time you same activity do for charcoal also. So these two are combustible substances. We were told that food is a fuel for our body. Now Bujo said it that food is a fuel for our body. Pali answered it that rightly so, in our body food is broken down, okay, by reaction with oxygen and heat is produced. Okay, as you learnt in class 7th also. So another activity is here that you have to collect some materials like straw, matchsticks, kerosene oil, paper, iron nails, okay, stone pieces, glass, etc. So under the supervision of your teacher, try to burn, or if you are doing in your home, you can take care of your parents. Okay, try to burn each of these material one by one. Okay, you have to try, and if combustion take place, mark the material combustible, otherwise mark it as non-combustible. Okay, so then what you have to do, you have to divide them as combustible and non-combustible substances. Okay, so you have to give answer if you understand wood is combustible or not. First thing, wood is combustible. If you burn it, it catch fire or not. So it means it is combustible. Okay, yes, if you have pencil, you can do it now also. And paper also combustible. Iron nails,
Then
yes, non combustible. Kerosene oil,
yes. Then
stone piece of stone combustible or not. Straw,
no. Then
charcoal,
yes.
you read just now magnesium and charcoal, two examples. Matchsticks, glass, non combustible. Okay, so you can fill this table. Okay, now, and then can you name some more substances which are combustible? You can add those to table 6.1. Can anyone tell?
The
You read it earlier, petrol, okay, and LPG, CNG, you can give it that examples. Okay, these are just for checking your knowledge that you learned carefully or not. Okay, so you can add or just remember. So let us investigate. Now we have to investigate that conditions under which combustion take place. Okay, it is a question also. Today's question, first question is that conditions under which combustion take place. So now we find it. So for this, first you have to do an activity 6.2. So what are the cautions for this activity? Be careful while handling burning candle. Okay, First thing is that this is caution you have to uh, understand. Then fix a light it, okay, candle on a table. You can see in figure also. Okay, you have to match. Put a glass chimney over the candle and rest it on a few wooden blocks in such a way that air can enter. Okay, the chimney. If you see here, okay, first you have to just a burning candle is here. Okay, one jar you have to put there, and one is here. A small we have to put wooden blocks. Okay, in which such a way that air can enter here. So observe what happens to the flame. Okay, then you have to remove the blocks and let the chimneys rest on the table. Okay, 6.2 b is there. Find again, observe the flame. Finally put a glass plate over the chimney. Okay, figure 6.2 c. You have to do then c activity. Pause the flame again. What happens in the three cases? Does the flame flicker off? Does it flicker and give smoke? Okay, does it burn unaffected? Can you infer anything at all about the role played by air in the process of burning? Okay, if you see, if there is a jar which has no cover, okay, it can be burned very easily, it can burn unconditionally. Okay, then if you put any cover on that, it will be eventually, you can say, flicked off. So we find that for combustion air is necessary. Okay, in air, as we know that oxygen is necessary for burning any material. Okay, so air is necessary. The candle burns freely in case A, where air can enter the chimney from below. In case B, when air does not enter the chimney from below, the flame flickers and produces smoke. Okay, then in case C, the flame finally goes off because the air is not available. So you can see in figure also. Okay, in these things air can enter from here, so it is not affected. Then if we say that in figure B, there is little bit air, so that's why it is just flicked off, and then it is finally, you can say, just you can understand that it is finally goes off. Okay, because no air is available. So then Buzo have one question there. We have read that the sun produces its own heat and light. It is also some kind of combustion. Okay, so what is the answer for that? In the sun, heat and light are produced by nuclear reactions. Okay, you will learn about this process in higher classes. Okay, what are the nuclear reactions? As we know that helium is the hydrogen and helium are the molecules which is the if you see which are the elements, okay, necessary for the heat and light of the sun. Okay, in these molecules many nuclear reactions are occur, nuclear fusion, okay, nuclear fission you will read about in higher classes. Then heat and light is produced in the sun. The next activity is place a piece of burning wood or charcoal on an iron plate or tawa. Okay, this is very easy activity. Cover it with a glass jar or a tumbler or a transparent plastic jar. Observe what happens. Does charcoal stop burning after some time? Can you think of the reason why it stopped burning? Okay, you might have heard that when the clothes of a person catch fire, it is the same thing. Okay, because for in activity 6.3 also, okay, oxygen is needed for the burning. Then is next is you might have heard that when the clothes of a person catch fire, the person is covered with a blanket to extinguish fire. Can you guess why? Okay, and it is said that not to put water on that when if some person catch fire. So why it is do so? Because you have to recall some of your experiences. Does the matchsticks burn with itself. How does it burn? You might have an ex- experience of burning a piece of paper. Does it burn when a burning matchstick is brought near it? Can you burn a piece of wood by bringing a light matchstick near it? Okay. Why do you have to use paper or kerosene oil to start fire in wood or coal? Have you heard of forest fire? Okay. So now we will study about it in detail. So first one you have to see on figure forest fire during extreme heat of summer at some places dry grasses catches fire. You can easily understand it because in your area also this type of fire occurs in the mainly summer region. So from the grass, it spreads to trees, and very soon the whole forest is on fire, as you see in figure. It is very difficult to control such fires. Okay, so then what are these experiences? What we said about it, that do these experiments tell you that different substances catch fire at different temperatures. Okay, so if you see these examples whatever given, okay, you must experience of burning a piece of paper. Does it burn when a burning matchstick is brought near it? Can you burn a piece of wood by bringing a lighted matchstick near it? Of course not. You cannot burn a wood, okay, like this as you burn a paper. Okay, so you have to understand these things. So why it is so? Because these are things, because every substance, okay, catch fire at different temperatures. So there is a different temperature or is a fixed temperature for every substances to catch fire. So the lowest temperature at which a substance catches fire is called its ignition temperature. So the lowest temperature, you have to understand about it, the lowest temperature at which a substances catch fire is called its ignition temperature. It is asked in exams also, that you have to understand. Okay, you all understand these things. Can you tell now why a matchstick does not catch fire on its own at room temperature? Why does the matchstick start burning on rubbing it on the side of the matchstick? Okay, matchbox. So why it is happens? Because the history. First, we read about its history. The story of the matchstick is very old, more than 5,000 years ago. Okay, small pieces of pine wood dipped in sulfur were used as matches in ancient Egypt. Okay, the modern safety match was developed only about 200 years ago. So modern matchsticks, what you used nowadays in your home, it is just 200 years ago, but its culture was 5,000 years old. A mixture of antimony trisulfide, potassium chlorate, and white phosphorus with some glue and starch was applied on the head of a match made of suitable wood. When struck against a rough surface, white phosphorus got ignited due to the heat of friction. Okay, this started the combustion. You see the matchstick side one, okay, in which sulfur is there, okay, and it is sulfur is here, okay, in the front one of the matchstick. When we just uh, you say that struck against a rough surface, okay, it get ignited due to the heat of friction, then it starts combustion. However, white phosphorus proved to be dangerous both for the workers involved in the manufacturing of matches and for the users. These days, the head of the safety match contain only antimony trisulfide and potassium chlorate. Okay, now it is contained because it is dangerous for health. So nowadays it is only antimony trisulfide and potassium chlorate in it. The rubbing surface has powdered glass and a little red phosphorus, which is much less dangerous. When the match is struck against the rubbing surface, some red phosphorus gets converted into white phosphorus. This immediately reacts with potassium chlorate in the matchstick head to produce enough heat to ignite antimony trisulfide and start the combustion. Okay, in one word, if someone asks you that why the matchstick does not catch fire, okay, at room temperature, you can say that it is not come at its ignition point, okay, without friction. So here is answer also for your question, that you find that a combustible substance cannot catch fire on or burn as long as its temperature is lower than its ignition temperature. Have you ever seen cooking oil catching fire when a frying pan is kept for long on a burning stove? Okay, I hope you all see this sometime. Kerosene oil and wood do not catch fire on their own at room temperature, but if kerosene oil is heated a little, it will catch fire. But if wood is heated a little, it would still not catch fire. That is means that ignition temperature of kerosene oil is lower than that of wood. Okay. Does it mean that we need to take special care in storing kerosene oil? The following activity shows that it is essential for a substance to reach ignition temperature to burn. Okay. So now we do an activity which by which we understand that how can a substances can reach its ignition temperature. So you have to be careful when you do this activity. So you have to make two paper cups by folding a sheet of paper. Pour about 50 ml of water in one of the cups. Heat both the cups separately with a candle. Okay, what do you observe? You have to do this like activity. Okay, in one cup you have to add water also. So what happens to the empty paper cup? What happens to the paper cup with water? Does water in the cup become hot? So if we continue heating the cup, we can even boil water in the paper cup. So can you think of an explanation for this phenomenon? Okay, so now we explain this phenomenon, that the heat supplied to the paper cup is transferred to water by the conduction. Okay, you already read about this process conduction in your earlier class also. So in the presence of water, the ignition temperature of paper is not reached. Okay, hence it does not burn. In first one figure, okay, match it with your figure also. The substances which have very low ignition temperature and can easily catch fire with a flame are called inflammable substances. Okay, examples are that substances: petrol, alcohol, liquefied petroleum gas, etc. Okay, so can you you have to can some more inflammable substances like wood. Okay, we can include wood also. Okay, it has very low ignition point also. So these are the examples. Okay, what is the process of combustion? What do we mean by combustion? Hmm.
The chemical process in which the substance reacts with oxygen and release heat.
Okay, some combustible substances. Combustible substances, wood is not. No, no. Yes, any other student? So try to one time recall this chapter in yourself also. Okay, so next week I will ask you some questions. I hope you will definitely give the answers, because this is a new chapter. When you recall it one time again, then you will understand more well. Okay, so we'll meet in the next class. Thank you, students. Okay.